In India, a daughter's legal right to her father's ancestral property is exactly the same as a son's. The shares are equal, and the legal standing is identical. Yet walk through any busy street, and you will find millions of women who either do not know this, or who have been told that getting married or receiving a dowry erases their legal claim. We are going to map out exactly what you are entitled to under the Hindu Succession Act. We will walk through the concrete legal steps you can take to secure your share, regardless of when your father passed away. Understanding these statutes places the distribution of assets under the authority of the court, a guarantee that your family cannot legally override. Step 1 is determining exactly what kind of property you are dealing with. Property in India falls into one of two legal categories, and this category dictates your exact standing. This comparison graphic illustrates the two buckets. First, on the left, is ancestral property. This is real estate passed down undivided through 4 generations. As a daughter, you have a right to this property by birth. Because this is a birthright, your father does not have the legal authority to write a will that gives the entirety of ancestral property only to his sons. The second category is self-acquired property. These are assets your father purchased with his own money. For this category, he has the absolute legal freedom to leave the property to anyone he chooses through a will. However, if your father passes away intestate, meaning he did not leave a will, his self-acquired property is automatically divided equally among all Class 1 heirs. As you can see, that means the daughters, sons, and the mother all receive an equal divided block. The origin of the real estate, whether it was inherited through generations or purchased directly, is the factor that decides if your share is a protected birthright or if it depends on the instructions in a will. This timeline charts how the law evolved to protect those birthrights. In 2005, the Hindu Succession Amendment Act legally elevated daughters to co-parceners, meaning you became an equal heir with the exact same rights and liabilities as a son. Then, the 2020 Supreme Court ruling in Vinitha Sharma versus Rakesh Sharma clarified exactly how this timeline works in practice. The court established that this right is retrospective. Even if your father died before the amendment took effect on September 9, 2005, you still retain full and equal rights to the property. There are 2 major myths that often stop women from acting on these facts. First, being married has absolutely zero impact on your legal claim. You remain a co-parcener after marriage. Second, any dowry or gifts given during a wedding are legally considered separate gifts. They cannot be deducted from and do not cancel out your rightful share of the property. These equal rights also apply fully to agricultural land. Older state laws that previously excluded women from inheriting farmland no longer override national succession law. Your marital status, past wedding gifts, or the specific year of your father's death cannot override a fundamental right granted to you by the Supreme Court of India. Step 3 is attempting a peaceful resolution. Start by formally requesting your share through direct discussion with your family. During this phase, you must never sign a release deed, a relinquishment deed, or a no objection certificate without reading it thoroughly. Signing these documents permanently forfeits your legal rights to the property. This staircase illustrates your escalation options. If your family refuses your request during the discussion phase, you move to step 4, initiating formal legal action. First, you hire a lawyer to draft and serve a formal legal notice to the family, clearly demanding your rightful share. If they ignore the legal notice, you take the final escalation step. You file a partition suit in civil court. A partition suit is a powerful tool. It allows the court to immediately halt any pending illegal sale of the property, or even void a recent sale if it was made without your explicit written consent. Escalating to a formal legal process removes the dispute entirely from the realm of family dynamics and places it firmly under the strict enforcement of the courts. Before you walk into a lawyer's office, you need to complete step 5, gathering the specific paper trail required to build your case. This checklist shows exactly what you need. First, you will need your father's official death certificate. Next, collect the property documents or records of rights. This includes documents like a 712 extract if you are claiming agricultural land. Finally, bring your personal identification and any official documents that prove your exact relationship to the deceased. Providing these concrete records allows your lawyer to verify your claim immediately, making the case ready for court. You now possess the knowledge to identify your property rights and the exact steps required to enforce them, fully backed by the highest courts in India. Your immediate next step today is to gather your paperwork and schedule a consultation with a qualified local property or family lawyer. Please share this video with other women in your life who might be silently forfeiting their legal entitlements simply because they lack this awareness. The law guarantees your equality on paper, but true empowerment requires the courage to step forward and claim it in reality.